What a delight to be with you here on this Sunday morning. This first Sunday in June, when we kick off two very important months that are observed. The first is, this is Pride Month in many, many places. And in honor of that, I am wearing and for those of you who know about the story of the Pride Rainbow banner that the Calgary Unitarians made, this is made from material that was left over from that project and given to me during my internship year here from the children's program. So there's a little bit of history with this one. I'll be wearing it all month. And I'll get to the second one in just a moment. I am the Reverend Samaya Oakley. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I get to be your minister. It's just such a joy that I get to be your minister. This month, we also join in celebrating and acknowledging National Indigenous History Month, a month when we celebrate across Canada the rich heritage of the First Nations people of this land. This is a heritage that was forbidden, but never forgotten, and is being reclaimed. The signing of Treaty 7 brings us into relationship with the Blackfoot Confederacy. These are the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, as well as the Dene First Nations band, the Tsuut'ina, and the three bands of the Stoney Nakoda First Nation, the Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney, as well as the Timsawa First Métis government of the Métis Nation within Alberta Districts 5 and 6. And this month, I have a very special invitation for you. As a way of living into deepening our relationship with Indigenous peoples, I invite you to join with Calgary Unitarians as we attend the Siksika Powwow on Saturday, June 29th. And watch for details coming in upcoming e-news. If you would like to attend, please let me know. The idea is that we can go together because often it's uncomfortable to go into places that we're not all that familiar with on our own. And so if we go together in community, it just eases a little of that discomfort. So watch for that. As well, today is our Flower Communion, a celebration that started in 1923, and this morning we continue the tradition of honoring the unique qualities that each of us brings into this community. Unitarian Universalism draws on many traditions and sources, welcoming people with diverse beliefs. The roots of Unitarianism date back to the very beginning of Christianity when we wrestled with the nature of who God was in the world. The roots of our Unitarianism go back to the 17th century. Oh, that was Universalism I was talking about. Now I'm talking about Unitarianism. The roots of Unitarianism go back to the 17th century when it was proclaimed that we need not think alike to love alike. And I talked about that last week if you were here with us. This is a congregation where we gather to nurture our spirits and work towards social justice in our community. We welcome those who want to work towards helping to make a better world. If you're new here for the first time, you'll be participating in this ceremony that is conducted in Unitarian, Universalist, and Unitarian Universalist congregations and communities throughout the world during these spring months. From the roots of our beings, each of us flowers into the unique, distinct human beings that we are. We come in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. Some of us grow in bunches. Some of us grow alone. Some of us are cupped inward. Some of us spread ourselves out wide. And some of us are old and dried and tougher than we appear. Some of us are still in bud. Some of us grow low to the ground, and some of us stretch up towards the sun. Some of us feel like weeds sometimes. Some of us carry seeds sometimes. Some of us smell. Let's hope in the good way.
Me.
All of us are beautiful. What a bouquet of people we are.
One said April is the cruelest month, when worn-out promises return. There's more wisdom in the iris bud than all our centuries of words. See how the flower opens. What is there to say? Oh, hear the vow unspoken in its sweet decay. This eternity of ebb and flowing. Oh, the cosmic ballet. All my life I've tried to kill this longing, tried to cure it, make it right. How it tugs me to my destined place, like a moon upon the tides. How can the dream be broken if the dreamer learns? These are the fires I poke in, but I'm never burned. Ebb and flowing of an ancient ocean. Oh, the cosmic ballet. Sweet dancing, sweet dancing, and dancer you must be.
Our chalice lighting this morning comes from Tess Bomberger.
There will be a brightness to this day, even if there be but cloud and rain outdoors.
The brightness of this day comes from within, from this gladly gathered company.
There will color and fragrance to this day, even if there be but gray and chill outdoors.
The color and fragrance comes from within, from the flowering of our spirits in this place.
There will be praise and laughter to this day, even if there be but difficulty elsewhere in our world.
The praise and laughter come from within, for our hearts leap within us as we gather to worship. Today, let there be brightness.
Today let there be color and fragrance.
Today, let there be praise and laughter.
Spirit of the flowers blooming, be with us.
Flowers of the Spirit blooming, be with us.
Our opening song this morning is in the gray hymnal, the hardback. It's number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. I invite you to stand in body and or spirit and join your voices with mine as we sing. For the earth forever turning, for the skies, for every sea, for our lives, for all we cherish, sing we our joyful song of peace. For the mountains, hills, and pastures in their silent majesty, for the stars, for all the heavens, sing we our joyful song of peace. For the sun will rain and thunder, for the seasons harmony, for our lives, for all creation, sing we our joyful praise to thee. For the world we raise our voices, for the home that gives us birth. In our joy we sing, returning home to our blue-green hills of earth.
You know, one of the best things I like about coming on a Sunday is I get to see all the faces of my favorite people. And I want to do a big shout out to Penny and Ian at the back there. Hey Ian! Woo! They're longtime members and they haven't been able to come in a while, so wonderful to see your faces. And I'm dearie Sheila, Director of Religious Education here at the Calgary Unitarians, and my pronouns are she and her, and everyone's invited to family camp. Woo! And it's July 5th to July 7th, and we're going out to near Caroline, the Lazy M Ranch. I've rented the whole place, all right? And if you're not into camping, I have a few lodge rooms left. They're basically hotel rooms in the lodge. There's a hot tub, there's a sunroom, the deck overlooks the river, there's a walking meditation maze, there's trails, we've got flush toilets, we've got showers, and there's also tenting and RV sites, and the more of us you come, the cheaper it is for everyone. I know. So sign up with me. I'll be in Wickenden at 11:30 to 12. You want to come. It's a good time. Everyone, if you come here to camp before and you had a good time, give me a woo. Woo! That's right. That's how fun it is. All right. And now on to Flower Communion. So this week, the kids and teens are exploring the beauty of nature and flowers. So we're outside. There's a beautiful community garden out there. We're going to do a tour, and we're going to be doing a flower dance where we are flowers, and it's going to be pretty fun out there today. And I think for many there's a spirituality in this connection to the beauty and nature that feed our souls. And so I think that's why it's so important that we have flower communion every year. Which brings us to this week's story. Have you ever seen a flower? And this is a story that I actually read last year with our beloved Jane Perry, and it's one of my favorite memories when we do this kind of reading and collaboration. And I know the concert for Jane's coming up, and I thought, I was looking for a story, and I thought, I want to do this one. This is the one I want to do again. And this time, though, I want to collaborate with Gavin, kind of a passing of the torch, and, you know, I think it's kind of a beautiful thing to do. So I collaborated with Gavin this morning, and I think we have a good, we'll see, good yin and yang going on. No pressure, Gavin. No pressure. All right. I know who that was, Breton. All right. So now for Have You Ever Seen a Flower by Sean Harris. Sit back and relax. Have you ever seen a flower? I mean, really seen a flower. I mean, way down in the clover with your face in a flower. Have you seen a flower using nothing but your nose? Breathe deep, and what do you see? Raindrops made of honey, the knees of bumblebees, a fancy lady, dancing babies at the Royal Jelly Jubilee. Have you ever seen a flower so deep you had to shout, "Hello!" and listen for an echo just to know how deep it goes? And did you wonder if you wandered down between its golden columns and into its corridors, who you might meet? Maybe a tiny queen? Have you ever felt a flower? Do a flower's petals' veins feel like the veins beneath your skin? Have you ever pricked your finger or fallen on your knee and seen the brilliant color of your life? Life is inside you. Life is all around you. Now put your hands on your belly and say, "This is my stem." Now sip a drip of water and stand very still. Feel it slip and trickle all the way down to your roots. Do you feel yourself growing? Do you feel yourself stretching towards the sun, ready to burst and bloom? Have you ever been a flower? I mean, really been a flower? And if you were, would you remember? Try and see. The end. And so this week's challenge for all of you is to slow down, get outside and breathe deep. Check out the community garden, look for flowers, and look at other people and wonder what kind of flower might they have been. As Ram Dass says, when we see the beloved in each person, it's like we're walking through a garden, watching flowers bloom all around us. And now please join me as we sing the light of our flame downstairs to the kids.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. We hold you in our love as you go. go to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. We hold you in our love as you go to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Two small things before I get started with our board installation. First, if you are looking to buy tickets for Jane Perry's commemorative concert on June 23rd, you can do so through Eventbrite. If you're having problems with it, Patricia Horgan is at the back and she's waving at you. You can talk with Patricia if you have any problems with that. And for those of you, Ellie, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Ellie is our new administrator, and she's here to experience the Sunday service. Had to do those two little things. So I invite your board members who have held you so well over the last year to come forward. Carol Yankee, Jeff Grutz, Jim Washbrook, Marcia Epstein, and we also hold Jocelyn Keith Asante present as one of our board members. Pam is with us online, and we're going to see her face in just a moment. As well, we have Lilius Cowper. So Jim and Lilius and Pam are going to be coming off the board this year. And so this is a turning of a season. There's a cycle to life. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is true of life, it's true of communities, and yes, it's even true of leadership positions. And for this, we are grateful. And so let's honor this cycle of leadership transition with a shared litany. Now, members of the congregation, you participate in this. And I have a line for you to say, "For this we thank you." Can you repeat that?
For this we thank you.
Okay. You, dear board members, this is the congregation speaking to you. So listen to their words. You, dear leaders, have served us well, and
for this we thank you.
For those of you who are at the end of your board term, we have known you to be thoughtful leaders and stewards of this congregation, and
for this we thank you.
The work of the church is the work of the people. It is the work of building the world of which we dream. It may require time spent poring over budget sheets, hours spent in meetings, where small details and large details are hashed out. It manifests in shared laughter, sometimes outright frustration. That's only from time to time. And it is always sacred, for it is in pursuit of the beloved community. And
for this we thank you.
Board members, by your service, you have helped to nurture and meet our needs for personal spiritual growth, inspirational worship, and a mutually caring community. It helps when there's a monitor up front. You can actually see, in case you're wondering what they're doing up there. Board members, you've helped us devote ourselves to religious learning for all ages. Embrace human diversity by welcoming individuals and families of all kinds, and join with the larger community to promote love, justice, and service to society. And
for this we thank you.
And Lilius and Pam and Jim, you are ending these commitments that you have held with such care. Each ending is also a beginning, the beginning of a new role, perhaps the beginning of a time when you can simply be here. Be here in worship. Be here in community. Beginning a time of renewal. We trust that you will find the right way to nurture your spirit and serve in this community.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim.
Good morning. We know that our lives have been and always will be richer for having served in this role. We are grateful to have served and grateful that others will now fill some of our shoes. Thank you. For the opportunity to serve, we thank you. And for the opportunity to take off these leadership hats, we thank you. You too have opportunities for endings and beginnings. May this litany serve as a reminder that we all have the ability and obligation to say yes to service in this community, and also to say yes to stepping down after a time, even if it seems there is no one else to take your place. But there's a lot of good people to take our place. May each of you here accept an invitation to say yes to a new opportunity for service, yes to an opportunity to nurture your spirit, and perhaps yes to an ending of your own. We trust that you will find the right way to nurture your spirit and serve the community. For this, we thank you.
Thank you, Jim. You can now take your seat, and we'll put the microphone up here. I now invite our newly elected board members, Breton Saunders and Lisa Gasson-Gardner, to come forward to join Carol and Jeff and Marcia and holding Jocelyn. We acknowledge today as a community that the acceptance of a position on the Board of Trustees for the Calgary Unitarian Church is a call to commitment, to diligent work, and to continuous learning on the part of each trustee as they take on the mantle of responsibility inherent in this vitally necessary position. The Board of Trustees is empowered to take action on behalf of its members, and it is by relying on our shared values in the pursuit of our common mission that the board will ensure success for all of us as we journey together. We recognize that the members of the congregation and the members of the board will not always agree on the path towards our common goals, and so challenges are inevitable along the way. We believe that resolution will best be found by approaching one another in love, in trust, each confident of the other's devotion to the organization and to its members. Members of the Board of Trustees, in recognition of the importance of the trust given to you by the members of this fellowship who have elected you to serve in this capacity, we ask that you publicly affirm your commitment. I'm going to say a bunch of stuff, and at the end you say, "I do so promise," and I'll cue you, okay? And it's also for you all to know that, they're responding in the right way. So, do you promise to maintain faithful in trust to the members of this fellow community and to work on their behalf in pursuit of the congregation, and to use your unique gifts to serve and care for this community and its members to the best of your ability? 3, to respect the bylaws as direction given to you by the members, to read and understand the bylaws, and to follow them to the best of your ability. And 4, to honor your fiduciary duty to the congregation by avoiding conflicts of interest with the function, mission, and vision of the congregation and its members. If you agree, please respond, "I do so promise."
I do so promise.
I charge you to use your light to inspire us and to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve the congregation. And now, for all of you who are members of this congregation, I invite you to rise. I have two things I'm going to say to you, and then I will ask you to say, I do so promise, okay? Do you promise to remain faithful in trust to the members of the Board of Trustees, respectfully acknowledging their uncompensated commitment to work on your behalf, and to recognize that the members of the board cannot succeed alone, and agree to work with the board to the best of your ability? If you agree, please respond with, I do so promise.
I do so promise.
Members of the Calgary Unitarian Church, please welcome our Board of Trustees with great rejoicing. Thank you so much.
As the calendar turns to June and we take time this month to celebrate the resurgence of Indigenous culture, our 4 others this month will go to the Bear Clan Patrol. Bear Clan was a dream to take back the streets led by Indigenous people. For the people who formed and volunteer with Bear Clan, it's a way of life, a feeling of family, and a whole vibe they all belong to. They show up when they can. They organize their team. They gather. They prepare. They safely patrol. They honor those whom they encounter. And they honor where they are in their healing journey. They share the medicine of hope, love, acceptance, recovery, and protection. If this is where you'd like to direct your offering, please indicate for others in the message with your e-transfer or on the offering envelope. Take time as the basket passes you by to hold gratitude in your heart for the work that the Bear Clan Patrol is engaged with in Calgary. They make a difference in so many lives. The offering will now be received with gratitude in our heart for all that you do to make Calgary Unitarians a special place.
Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Nugent. My pronouns are she, her. Flower communion is a beloved ritual for many Unitarian Universalist congregations. It was created by Unitarian minister Norbert Chopek and his wife Maya in 1923 for the Unitarian congregation they served in Prague. What is behind this ritual, and why do we continue to hold it year after year? Yes, there's value in and of itself when we welcome the returning flowers and the beauty of nature after winter's icy hold dissipates. However, the meaning of this ceremony goes much deeper than this. To help us understand the deeper significance of flower communion, I've paraphrased Norbert Chopek's deeply considered reasons for its creation. He chose flowers as a symbolic sacrament because they are nature's most tender, common, and beautiful gift. Dr. Chopek suggested that a flower is divine. We cannot create it as human beings, whatever effort we make. We can only create artificial flowers. They may be beautiful, but they're really a dead forgery without fragrance or life. Dr. Chopek envisioned the symbolism of the ceremony in this way. Each one of us is symbolized in a flower. Flowers together in a vase symbolize our commonality, being together in community. We bring and carry away flowers voluntarily, and this symbolizes freedom. Taking home a blossom that has been brought by someone else, without knowing who contributed that blossom, symbolizes that we share all together in community without preference for one person over another. Dr. Chopek emphasized that flower communion is supposed to be a modest celebration. No magical, mysterious, or supernatural powers or beings are involved. Remember, this was 1923 when he set this up, and he was the first Unitarian congregation in Czechoslovakia. So this was something important to him to emphasize, that we're not looking to the supernatural, we can find it right here in the beauty that we see on the earth. To the best of Norbert Chopek's knowledge, and to the best of my knowledge too, but let me know if you know differently, flowers are not associated with war or strife. He also emphasized the need for human mutual understanding, empathy, sharing, and forgiveness. It seems to me that this message is as needed in our world now as it was during Norbert Chopek's time. American Unitarians offered asylum to Norbert, Maya, and their family when the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940. Norbert stayed behind to help others in his home country through this dark and difficult time. Maya introduced flower communion to North America after she arrived here with their children. Flower communion struck a chord and spread among Unitarian congregations around the world. For those of you unfamiliar with the rest of the story, the Nazis found Norbert Chopek's gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every human being to be, and I quote, too dangerous for the Reich to allow him to live. Dr. Chopek was sent to Dachau concentration camp, where he was killed during a Nazi medical experiment in 1942. His wife Maya and his children did not learn of his death until the end of the war. We remind each other of this history at Flower Communion to honor and be inspired by Norbert Chopak's message and his courage. May it be a reminder to us all to never grow complacent.
As you've heard, Norbert Chopak was a Unitarian minister whose home and church were overrun by German soldiers in the years of World War II. He gave his life defying their cruel occupation. Before he died, he influenced thousands of people with the beauty of his words and his ideals, including the flower communion ceremony that he originated, symbolizing light, color, and fragrance. All of that in so many creeds, many cultures, and many races joining together in a bright living bouquet. While the Nazis are long gone, there are those who would welcome back times of cruelty, hatred, and bigotry today. At this time of grave uncertainty and rising populism, let us celebrate Flower Communion in this congregation, along with hundreds around the world, as a testament to the power of love to withstand hate and to the vision of a tolerant faith which sweeps the world, not by persecution or threats of violence, but by drawing people into the principles with the sweet scent of freedom. Let us welcome the flowers. In the words of Norbert Chopak, in the name of providence which implants the seed, the future of the tree, and in the hearts of everyone, the longing for people living in love, in the name of the highest, in whom we move and who makes parent the sibling what they are, in the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice, let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real siblings in spirit, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges one from another. And so, because of shared ministry, you have as much power to bless as I do. And together we are going to bless these flowers before we enter a time of silence for 2 minutes. And we'll come out of that silence with our hymn number 1013, Open My Heart. I ask you to join me in putting your hands like this out towards the flowers. Sending your love, sending your intentions for peace out into the world and into these flowers. And together let us say, You are a blessing. You are a blessing. And with that spirit in mind, let us be silent together.
Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
Now it's time for our flower communion. Let me talk a little bit about how it will work so that we're all clear. And we don't have mass confusion. For those of you who are online, I really appreciate the fact that you came to flower communion today, and I hope that you have a flower with you. If you don't, imagine one that you would bring. And I invite you to take time to share about the flower that you would have brought or that you brought with you to the service. And be brief, and after everyone is shared, if we're still busy here in person, talk about the commonalities or the similarities that you have in those flowers. For those of us in person, you're going to come up the side, make your way along the side, come forward to the vases here. You will each choose a flower and exchange it with the person on the other side of the room and make your way back to your seat. Whoa, weren't expecting that. Here's the thing though. I ask that you come forward and approach the communion vase quietly, reverently, with a sense of how important it is for each of us to address our world and one another with gentleness, with justice, and love. Don't look for the flower you brought. Choose another one and exchange. But as you choose the flower, note its shape, its beauty. Handle it carefully because it was a gift that someone in this community brought here. It represents that person's unique humanity, and it deserves our kindest touch. So now, let us share quietly in this Unitarian Universalist ritual of oneness and love. Flowers are beautiful, and so are the feelings of love among us. We have brought our flowers and our love to brighten this community and to make our hearts glad. As we prepare to take our leave of this sacred space that we have created together, know that your presence matters. You are a being who is blessed and can offer a blessing to others. So as you move through this week, take time to be good to yourself, be excellent towards others, and do everything now. Go in peace and love, daring to be a blessing to yourselves and others until we meet again.
I invite you to sing with me again the beautiful song, "Oh Beautiful Gaia." The words will be projected on the screen. Please hold your flowers and rise in body or spirit and sing with me. Oh, beautiful Gaia, oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us on. Soil yielding its harvest. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Soil yielding its harvest, calling us on. Oh, beautiful Gaia. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us on. Waves crashing on granite. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Waves crashing on granite, calling us on. Oh, beautiful Gaia. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us on. Pine bending in windstorm. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Pine bending in windstorm, calling us on. Oh, beautiful Gaia. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us on. Loon nesting in marshland. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Loon nesting in marshland, calling us on. Oh, beautiful Gaia. Oh, Gaia calling us home. Oh, beautiful Gaia calling us on.
Our chalice extinguishing words are adapted from Reverend Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty. Within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life. As we extinguish this chalice this morning, let us carry its flame with us as we go out into the world. Please join us next week as we take time to consider the question of cultural appropriation. Right after the postlude plays, I'm not rewinding us back to the beginning here. It's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Right after the postlude plays, feel free to click on a new Zoom link if you're attending online, so that you can engage in conversations with people there. All of you here in person, we invite you to join us in Wickenden Hall for coffee and conversation. And now, let's wave to those folks who've joined us online today. Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue.